Today, friends, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a beat for Drake and 21 Savage. In this video, we're going to be making two beats. The first is going to be more kind of sample focused, and then the second beat is going to be a bit more intense, a bit darker, and I'm going to show you how you can transition between the two of these beats and create a really dope but simple change up. So for step one, you're gonna need to find a sample. And for the sample, all I did was I pitched it down a little bit and then changed the BPM to 83. Because I didn't feel like the sample was full enough, I went ahead and added some chords. And thankfully the sample that I picked out had the bass line stem, and so all I did in order to use that was clicked on the sample, went to edit an audio editor, clicked on this little wrench tool, and then clicked convert score and dump to piano roll. And as you can see on the screen, I was able to get all of the notes used for the bass line. Then using those root notes, I just went ahead and built some chords, and I added two instruments in order to do this. The first is a sound called The Room from my bank Grailed. And then for my bank textures, I use this sound Galactic Brass. If you're wondering why I'm using this little mic right here, it's because I can do this. Can you hear me right now? You can, can't you? Do me a favor and drop a little like. And now before we move on to the drums, here's how everything sounds together. So now we're on to the drums. And this is really where you're going to be creating all of the bounce. So I've just got these drums right here. Pretty simple pattern. Really where you're going to get a lot of your bounce is going to be from the 808s and kick relation. Now, I just want you to listen to it and see if you can guess what the key is here. So really the key is the spots where the 808 is hitting and the kick is not hitting. The reason why it creates so much bounce is because when the kick and 808 are hitting together, the drums are going to be hitting their hardest. Then when they're not hitting in the same spots, it creates more bounce as it just acts as kind of like another drum sound really. So make sure you do that. That is really the key. And now everything together. A little early for that. Little preview though. Alright, so now we're on to beat number 2. And for this beat, we want to keep in mind that we're trying to, change it up and go between two beats. So for the second beat, we're going to keep it the same BPM and the same key. It's going to make it a lot easier to transition between the two beats. I use a sound from my bank Summer Nights called Stargazing. It's just a synth sound. And then I use this sound called Beautiful Distortion from my bank Grailed. And that's also, maybe not, the name of my upcoming album, so be on the lookout for that. And right here, I just started with the same chord that I used in the original beats. For the second chord, I just dropped this note down one. It makes everything sound darker, which is good for these types of beats. Thought it sounded a little bright, so all I did was this technique that Cubeatz as well as 40, Drake's producer, does a lot, where all you do is convert the sample into an audio file. Then you go into edit an audio editor, you click right here, the sample rate button, change this to 2000, click resample, tempo sync, and then I ended up with this. So it's sounding dark.
Evil.
Like very 21 Savage-y right now. I don't know if it's word, to be honest. So now onto the drums, and these drums are a bit more intense and have a little bit more flavor than the other ones, just because I felt like it'd be a nice contrast. Definitely change your 808 at the very least, and change the pattern. So here are the drums that I started off with. And then for the 808, I ended up going a lot more crazy. And again, because we didn't do anything too crazy with the other drums, it's okay to do this because it's not going to throw everything off completely. And now everything together. This is really where we take things to the next level, because we're going to transition the beats, and it's a lot easier than you think. First thing you're gonna wanna do, take your loop, just copy it over, right click, make unique, and then you're just going to pitch it up. Now the reason you wanna pitch it up is because it's going to give a good contrast from the first loop right here. It's also going to be a good contrast when it actually drops into the beat. Goes crazy. Then next thing I would recommend doing is, if you can, get some sort of like Memphis, 3-6 Mafia, just any really Memphis rap samples. Then you need to change the pitch so it matches the pitch of your current beat. So I just have this sample right here. I think you get what it sounds like. And last thing you can do, and this is optional, one, you can either just have your 808s already come in right here, or what I did in this case was I just added a bass, like a dark distorted bass, put my own kind of twist and sauce onto it, and you just put it on the key of the beat on every little bar.